Doug, the Phoenix Suns are plus 10 points in the paint. A lot of it has to do with Steve Nash.
Yeah, he has 10 of the points himself. He has the one long three that we saw on that play right there, but everything he's getting inside, he has 8 field goals, 5 of them in the paint. And he's done a nice job of changing direction, using that little pull-up jump shot. There is his first quarter shot chart. You see how many shots he took. He's 8 of 12 for the game, and in the second quarter, only 2. As the Suns lead 42-33. But Kevin, it's interesting. When I look at the San Antonio Spurs, one of the stats that jumps out to me is their three-point shooting. They're 0 for 4. The Spurs, a big part of their offense, especially when they had Bruce Bowen, the big part of that was their three-point shooting. They do not have a 3 tonight. I talked to Greg Popovich before the game. He said, we're not nearly as good as we used to be shooting the 3. And how about this? In Game 3, when they beat the Dallas Mavericks, they did not make a 3, 0 of 7. They were minus 24 points from the three-point line in that game and still won the game.
Doug, you're keeping track of Tim Duncan's free throw shooting tonight, now 3 of 5.
Well, he shot 49% against the Dallas Mavericks, and that could be real critical, especially in the close game in the fourth period.
Channing Frye. Jason Richardson, he's got 4, colliding into Jefferson.
Looks like he's limping a little bit. It looked like he was holding his right thigh. Maybe he and Jefferson collided in midair there, but Jason Richardson is just playing terrific basketball right now for the Phoenix Suns. He's playing with such confidence.
Spurs have missed their last 5 shots from the field. Frye is watching Duncan. The double by Richardson outside. A long 2 by Tony Parker. Rebound by Frye.
And that was the key, long 2. Not let him get to that three-point line. Parker really does not want to shoot threes.
Mismatch over Parker. It's Richardson with the rebound by Antonio McDyess. George Hill so far, Doug, with 7 points, and here's Tim Duncan. He's got 7.
Nice job on him, rotating, double teaming him, keeping him off balance here. Grant Hill once again.
Richardson by Parker.
Boy, if you could see Grant Hill on that play, that was sort of the epitome of what Grant Hill has brought to this team. The ball goes into Duncan. He rotates over, scrambling, then he knocks the ball loose, gets out on the break, and here's Jason Richardson. This is when he is the most lethal, either pulling up and shooting the 3 or getting all the way to the basket. Phoenix on a 9-1 run, and they lead by 12. The Suns lead by 12, and this is the disrupting defense that we've seen from the Phoenix Suns. Grant Hill's man clears through George Hill. They force Channing Frye does a nice job of spinning Duncan back. Look at Grant Hill there, forcing him to pick up his dribble, and now he's going to rotate out of there. Watch the rotation. He gets a hand up. He knocks the pass down. And once again, the fast break for the Phoenix Suns. It's Jason Richardson. So Grant Hill tonight, 1 point in the game. Ginobili is 2 of 6. Parker's 3 of 8. Those 2 guys are 5 for 14. And sometimes you can put your imprint on a series without being scoring. And you saw what he did to Andre Miller in that first series. That's what he's trying to do to Parker and Ginobili here to give his team a chance to win. Try to slow those 2 guys down.
Ginobili comes in for McDyess. We got small ball on the floor right now for San Antonio. We have a foul down low. Grant Hill was watching Ginobili. There's another thing you're talking about. You know, it was Hill's defense and Andre Miller, Doug, in that Portland series that changed that series for Phoenix. We talked about that earlier on. Ginobili picks up his first personal foul. Did a huge job, and here comes Nash. All over the floor. Leading him with 19. Here's Richardson. Ginobili defending on the play. Frye. Nash. Only 2 in the second quarter. And 17 in the first. 21 for Steve Nash.
I'll tell you what, he plays at such a great pace tonight, though. He's in a very good rhythm. His team is really responding. Here's Ginobili. It's the first 3 of the game for the San Antonio Spurs, and we always talk about closing quarters. I think a very important time for both of these teams. Can the Phoenix Suns finish strong, or the Spurs, can they cut into this 11-point lead, maybe get this down to 5 or 6 going in at halftime?
Stoudemire and Duncan. Amare Stoudemire, in his 17 minutes on the floor, has put in 6 with 6 rebounds.
Tim Duncan just cannot handle this kind of speed. Amari Stoudemire, when he catches that ball at the elbow, Kevin, that's where you see, to me, the slippage in Tim Duncan's game as he's gotten older is the lateral quickness. He can still rebound, he still block some shots on occasion, but Tim Duncan used to be so good at being able to move his feet in those kind of situations. And you can see Amari Stoudemire just squared him up, used his quickness, drove the ball right around him for the three-point play.
And on the offensive side, Doug, Duncan is playing a little bit out now, isn't he? Not trying to get involved in all the congestion inside.
A little bit more jump shots.
And Ginobili begins to drive inside, and Grant Hill is there to defend, and Grant Hill picks up his second personal foul. 2:49 to play here in the second as we take you to our TNT Arena. And here is Ernie Johnson.
All right, thank you, Kev. Coming up on the T-Mobile halftime report, a first-half breakdown from Kenny and Charles. We'll have highlights of tonight's Game 2 in the Boston-Cleveland series, now tied up at a game apiece, and a complete wrap-up on Inside the NBA after the Spurs and Suns. And remember, you can log on to NBA.com after every playoff game and get live streaming coverage of the post-game press conferences. Now, let's come back to the Valley of the Sun to Kevin and the coach.
Doug, you've been keeping, thank you, Ray. You've been talking about the big three and what their shooting has been like, too, and how they are influencing this game, if at all, for San Antonio.
They are all three shooting a very low percentage. And George Hill's been a guy, he has 7 tonight, but for the most part, the three stars have been very cold, and you've got to give the Suns a lot of credit for their defense.
There's a San Antonio foul. Tony Parker was lunging inside. By the way, Ginobili's got 11. He's put 9 of those 11 through here in the second quarter. Tony Parker picks up number 2. Ginobili's got a new splint on that nose. Changed the gauze moments ago.
The Portland Trailblazers shot 43% against the Suns in the 6-game series. Tonight here in this first quarter, the Spurs are shooting 38%.
Richardson against Hill.
They're going to that matchup. Anytime they see Jason Richardson in that post, he goes right in there against George Hill. We've seen him post up Tony Parker. So Alvin Gentry finding the mismatches and taking advantage of that here in this first half.
10 now for Richardson. 6 have come here in the second. The quick double is sent toward Duncan. Out of bounds. The double worked out well right there. And now they overturn the call. They're going to say it is off of the Phoenix Suns with 2:08 to play and 8 seconds left on the shot clock here late in the second quarter.
Now that ball was deflected by Steve Nash. That's a good call. Kenny Maurer comes in and gives Bennett Salvatore some help. He was screened out on that call.
And a quick foul right out of that. Looks like Nash trying to defend. He'll pick it up. That is the second on Steve Nash, who has played 17 minutes in this first half with the bad right hip and all. And TNT in June, it's a new season and a new reason to get more leverage. The Leverage 2-hour season premiere event is Sunday, June 20th at 9/8 Central, and it's only on TNT. George Hill at the line. Late first-round pick out of IUPUI. He's always been a favorite of Popovich with what he can do defensively. But Doug, as you mentioned earlier, his offensive game has emerged here in his second NBA season.
His three-point shooting really helped save the Spurs against the Dallas Mavericks. In that game 6, he hit 2 critical threes late in that game. And then game 4, he hit a big one when he had 29. But that's what he worked on all summer. He talked to Bruce Bowen. Bruce Bowen said, you've got to start making those corner threes. That's where you're going to get the shots. And that's exactly what George Hill has done. He's really improved in that three-point line.
And Stoudemire right into Tim Duncan and gets his own miss. Richardson, 5 of 9. And picked off by Ginobili. It's the 8th turnover for the Phoenix Suns. Spurs, by the way, have been capitalizing at the line, plus 9 points right there. Duncan to Parker. Parker against Fry. Back inside to Tim with a foul. Looks like maybe Stoudemire. Comes right across. Fry was there defending as well. Channing Frye, raised here in the Phoenix area, picks up his second personal foul. And once again, Tim Duncan at the line. And Doug tonight, he's 3 of 5.
Kevin, you see the Spurs here when they've had Tim Duncan against the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns, for the longest time, was small ball. And in 05, it was Amari Stoudemire. And then it was Kurt Thomas, and they said, enough of this. We got to get a big guy. They went out and got Shaquille O'Neal. None of those guys were able to unseat the San Antonio